Good afternoon and namaste everyone, and today I am back with another video, and this video is going to be on listening test. And many of my students have requested me to make some videos related to listening to get a band 8 above, because they said that they have problems in multiple choice questions and some other particular questions in IELTS. So today I'm going to make one video on listening test. I guess this video will be very useful for you and to those who are about to begin their IELTS preparation classes. And it will also be beneficial for those who are planning to take the IELTS test. Okay, and this question comes from official Cambridge book to IELTS, and this is the listening test 1, and I'll be making more videos in the days ahead. Here I'm going to play the audio from the on the background, and I'm going to solve the questions as I hear.
For PDF of this listening, click on the link in the description. And please do subscribe to this channel and like our Facebook page.
Recording 39. You will hear a telephone conversation between the organizer of a park run and a woman who wishes to take part in the run. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6. Good morning, Dave Smith speaking.
Hi, could I speak to the organizer of the Preston Park Run?
Yes, that's me.
Great. I was talking to some friends of mine about the run, and they suggested I contact you to get some more details.
Sure. What would you like to know?
Well, they said it takes place every Saturday. Is that right?
Yes, it does.
Okay, great.
Do you know where the park is?
Oh, yes, I've been there before, but it's quite big and I'm not sure where to go.
Well, there's a circular track that goes right around the park. The run starts at the cafe, goes past the tennis courts, then twice around the lake, and finishes back where it started.
Okay, and what time is the run?
Well, the actual run begins at 9 a.m., but the runners start arriving at about 8:45.
Okay, so I need to get up early Saturday morning then. And how long is the run?
Well, it used to be 3 kilometers, but most people wanted to do a bit more than that, so we lengthened it to 5 kilometers. We now go round the lake twice, and that adds an extra 2 kilometers.
Right. Not sure I've ever run that far, so I'd better start doing a bit of training.
That's a good idea. But it's not a race, it's really just for fun. And the best thing would be to take it easy the first few times you do it, and then see if you can gradually improve your time.
Is the run timed then? How do I know how well I've done?
When you cross the finish line, you'll be given a barcode, and you take this to one of the run volunteers who will scan it. Then you can get your time online when you go home.
Oh, I see. You collect all the results.
Exactly.
I see. That's great. So, how do I register?
Well, there are several ways. I could take your details over the phone, but it's much easier if you do it using the website.
Okay, good. I think that's probably all I need to know for now. Oh yes, does it cost cost anything to register, or do you collect money each week?
Well, it doesn't cost anything to register, but we do charge for the run. In fact, we have just increased the charge to £1.50. It used to be £1, but because we were making a bit of a loss, we have had to increase it by 50p.
Okay, thanks.
So here we
I
have
think I have enough information on
no more
taking
than 2
part in
words
the run.
and or a number. Okay, let's keep
Before
underlining.
you hear the rest of the conversation, you will have some time to look at the questions 7 to 10.
Okay, contact name, we need to write his name, phone number, and here activity setting up course, the runners, something is missing for the weekly report. Okay, have a look and listen to the audio carefully. Okay,
Now listen and answer questions 7 to 10.
You mentioned volunteers. I have a friend who is interested in helping out. Can you give me some details so I can pass them on to her?
Sure. Well, you need to ask your friend to contact Pete Morn. He manages all the volunteers.
Okay. I didn't quite catch his surname. Was it Morn? M-O-R-N?
No, just a bit more complicated. It's Maughan.
Right. Thanks. And could you give me his phone number?
Yes, just a moment. It's here somewhere. Let me just find it. I've 2 numbers for him. I think the one that begins 01273 is an old one. So use this one. It's 01444 73290.
Okay. Got that. Can you tell me anything about the volunteering? Like what kind of activities it involves?
Sure. Well, we need volunteers for basic stuff like setting up the course. We have to do that before all the runners arrive.
Okay. So that's a really early start.
Yes, that's right. But if your friend would prefer to arrive a bit later, she can also help with guiding the runners so they don't go the wrong way.
I see. I believe you do a report on some of the races.
Yes, that's right. In fact, we do a weekly report on each race, and we always try to illustrate it.
Okay. Well, my friend really likes taking photographs. She's just bought a new camera.
Actually, that would be great. I don't know whether Pete has anyone to take photographs this week.
Oh, I'll let her know.
Okay, good. Could you ask your friend to phone Pete and let him know?
Yes, I will.
Okay, thanks.
okay.
Goodbye.
Now let's check here. It says no more than 2 words and or a number. We'll be checking the answers. Okay, on the end of this listening test. Now I'm not going to check the answers. Rather, I'm going to work on part 2. Here it says no more than 3 words and or a number. And here are the questions. Let's quickly underline the questions here. Dolphins and some plural noun is missing. For example, the bus stopped. What is it about? Then the center name is missing and very old. Only looking here and keep on here. Just keep going. No more than 2 words and or a number. Here it says we need to you need to have a singular noun is missing here.
You have some time to look at questions 11 to 14.
And the 2 last, okay, in total is the keyword. Okay. Then the cost of the bus ticket includes entrance to the, okay, it includes entrance to the, some specific noun is missing. You can listen to an audio commentary which has been made by the, okay, it has been prepared by the. Then if the weather is wet, it's a good idea to bring. Okay.
For the Pacton on Sea bus tour. This is a recorded message lasting approximately 4 minutes, and it provides general information tour. Pacton-on-Sea is a beautiful West Coast town and has attracted tourists for many years. One of the best ways of getting to know the town is to take the bus tour, which provides a wonderful viewing experience from one of our open-top buses. The tour is a round trip of the town, and there are a total of 4 stops where passengers can get on and off the bus. A lot of people start at the first stop, which is at the train station, as this is where many tourists arrive in the town. The next stop after the station is the aquarium, which is famous for its dolphin show, and which has recently expanded to include sharks. This is well worth a visit and is very reasonably priced. Leaving the aquarium, the bus tour goes along the coast road, and after a few kilometers, comes to the old fishing village, where you can get off to stroll along the waterfront. There are some original buildings here, but most of the area has been modernized and is now used as a harbor for all kinds of seacraft, including yachts and some amazing powerboats. The tour then heads off to the last stop, and this is where most of the shops are. So for those of you keen to do a bit of shopping, this is the place for you. Our advice is to go to this part of the town in the morning when it is relatively quiet. It does get very busy in the afternoons, especially at the height of the season. This area of the town includes an ancient water fountain where many people like to have their photograph taken. So do look out for this.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you will have some time to look at the questions 15 to 20.
Okay, we are here. Don't forget to bring your own book online. Let's see what it talks about: ticket or sleep. Have a look here. Then we have section 3. We'll be looking at the questions later. And here, no more than 2 words and or a number. You need to have a. Yeah, okay. Let's look here.
Now listen and answer questions 15 to 20.
Now, some details of the costs and timings. A family ticket, which includes 2 adults and up to 3 children, costs $30. An adult ticket costs $15. Children under the age of 15 are $5, and student tickets are $10, as long as you have a student card. All tickets are valid for 24 hours, which means that you can get on and off the bus as many times as you like within a 24-hour period. So you could, for example, start the tour in the afternoon and complete it the following morning. The first bus of the day leaves the station at 10 a.m., and the last one of the day leaves at 6 p.m. Buses leave every 30 minutes, and each tour takes a total of 50 minutes. There are many attractions at each of the stops, so wherever you get off the bus, there will be plenty to do. The bus tour tickets do not include entrance to any of these attractions apart from the museum, which is located near the aquarium. Some buses have local guides who will point out places of interest and will provide information on the town. However, we cannot guarantee that every bus will have a guide, and so we also have an audio commentary that has been specially recorded for the bus tour by the tourist office. Headphones are available on the bus, and these are easy to operate. There is no extra charge for these. Just plug in, select the required language, and adjust the volume. Due to the winter months being rather cold and wet in Pacton-on-Sea, the bus tours only operate from March to September. The weather is usually warm and sunny during these months, so remember to bring some sun protection, especially on hot days. And of course, it does occasionally so you are advised to book. You can book tickets online, over the phone, and also at the station, and at any of the other tour stops. When booking over the phone, you can collect your tickets at any of the stops at the start of your tour. When you do it online, you can print your e-ticket, which you must remember to bring with you. Thank you for calling the Captain on Sea phone line, and we look forward to seeing you soon on one of our tour buses.
That is the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
So let's go in part 3 and underline the keywords. Randy says that a new system may. Here are the options. We never look at the options. Improve the existing system will check. Okay, improving the existing system will check.
Recording 41.
And here we have been asked to write no more than 2 words.
Admissions officer and a manager from the university's technologies department.
Okay.
First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 26.
Okay, we will be looking here. Okay, Dave hardly says that the computer system has. We have options. Let's see. We'll be crossing the wrong options and we will leave the right answer. Okay, as usual. And this is very tricky. We need to listen to the distractors or the controlling idea. For example, like, however, it would rather write like that.
From the technologist department. Ah, yes, good. I'm Dave Hadley. Thanks for coming to see me.
That's okay. I believe you want us to do some work for you.
Yes, that's right. I'm responsible for student admissions to the college, and I use a computer system to help process student enrollments and to do the timetabling. But it really doesn't suit the way we work these days. It's over 10 years old, and although it was fine when it was first introduced, it's just not good enough now.
Okay, what problems are you experiencing?
Well, 20 years ago, the college was quite small, and we didn't have the numbers of students or tutors that we have now.
So the system can't handle the increasing volumes?
Well, there's a lot more data now, and it sometimes seems the system has crashed, but in fact, it just takes ages to go from one screen to the next.
Right. Is that the only problem?
Well, that's the main one, but there are others. In the past, doing the timetabling was quite simple, but now we have a lot more courses, and what's made it complicated is that many of them have options.
Right, but the system should allow you to include those.
Well, no, it doesn't. It was supposed to, and a few years ago we did ask someone from the technologies department to fix it, but they never seemed to have the time.
Are there any other issues with the system?
Well, I've been given extra responsibilities, and so I have even less time to do the timetabling. If there was anything you could do, Randir, to make the process more efficient, that would be really helpful.
Well, it sounds like you could do with an assistant, but that's obviously not possible. So what about having an online system that students can use to do their scheduling?
How would that work?
Well, it may mean less choice for students, but we could create a fixed schedule of all the courses and options, and they could then view what was available.
And work it out for themselves. That sounds great.
Okay, so we'll need to decide whether or not to improve the existing system or to build a completely new system.
Well, I'd much prefer to have a new system. Quite frankly, I've had enough of the old one.
Okay, that'll probably take longer, although it may save you money in the long run. When were you hoping to have this in place?
Well, it's January now, and the new intake of students will be in September. We need to start processing admissions in the next few weeks, really.
Well, it will take more than a few weeks, I'm afraid. As an initial estimate, I think we'll be looking at April or May to improve the existing system. But for a new system, it would take at least 9 months. That would be October at the earliest.
Okay, let's go on. We have to look here. Next steps, get approval from. We need the noun. Complete a single countable noun is missing. Form. Here is the book with the system analyst. Set up
What are the next steps if we are to have a new system?
Well, the first question is, do you have support from your senior management?
Yes, I've already discussed it with them, and they're also keen to get this work done.
Okay, because I was going to say that's the first thing you need to do, and without that, we can't go ahead.
Yes, I've done that.
That's good.
Actually, they mentioned that there's probably a form I need to complete to formally start the project.
Yes, that's the next thing you need to do. I'll send you an email with a link so you can fill it in online. It's called a project request form.
Okay, great. And then what happens?
Well, I have a list of things, but I think the third thing you should do is see Samir. He's our analyst who will look at the system and identify what needs to be done.
Okay, can you send me his contact details and I'll set up a meeting with him?
Okay, that's good. So we should soon be able to get a team together to start the work. Some members of our team work in different locations, so it's not easy to have face-to-face meetings.
That's okay. I'm used to having conference calls, providing they're not late at night.
Right, so I'll send you details of the team, and if you could set up a call, that would be great.
Okay, I'll do that.
Here is conference call, but it says project request form. We need to write the request form as well. Okay, let's write here project request form. Okay, we have written project, or I have written project only, and it also said request. Okay, here it says no more than 2 words. Complete a project request form. All right. And okay, let's go in section 4, and here we need to write is no more than 2 words and or a number.
Now turn to section 4. Recording 42. You will hear a lecture about how the production of ceramics, such as plates,
Let's look at the question.
First, you have some
approximately.
time to look at questions 31 to 40.
Okay, in the area of is the keyword, then they're okay. They're supposed to istro means collect, and by mixing. Okay, ceramics by mixing. Okay, then was also called, and here edit what is was and something make the porcelain. Then okay, the glass production is similar to clay ceramics apart from the rate of, okay, apart from the rate of the keyword. And the Romans introduced the use of glass to make, have a look here. Then there is a concrete. The discovery of concrete is probably due to observing reaction of water and, okay, reactions of water and what something is there. The ability to build large, okay, here is the word is to build.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Okay, let's get started.
Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about the origins of ceramics. So first of all, let's start off with, what is a ceramic? Well, generally speaking, ceramics are what you get when you apply heat to certain inorganic, non-metallic solids examples of ceramics are everyday things like earthenware pots, crockery, glassware, and even concrete. So how did it all begin? Well, it all started around 29,000 years ago, when humans discovered that if you dig up some soft clay from the ground, mold it into a shape, and then heat it up to a very high temperature, when it cools, the clay has been transformed into something hard and rigid. And so what did those first humans do with their discovery? Well, they created figurines, which were small statues and which depicted animals or gods or any shape that the clay could be molded into. And all this activity was centered around southern Europe, where there is also evidence of ceramics that were created much later. The early humans also found a practical use for their discovery, such as storing things like grain. Although there were drawbacks, the pots were porous, so that although they could carry water in them, it wasn't possible to store it over a long period.
Okay, this
And
water.
also they were quite brittle and shattered very easily if they were dropped. But despite these problems, it was many thousands of years before there were any improvements. In China, at around 200 BC, they discovered that by adding minerals to the clay, they
Minerals.
could improve both the appearance and the strength of the ceramics.
Okay.
But it took nearly 1,000 years before they perfected the process to produce high-quality ceramics known as porcelain.
Porcelain.
And once they had perfected the process, they kept it a secret for another 1,000 years. Compared to the first ceramics, porcelain was lighter, finer, harder, and whiter, and became an important commodity in China's trading with the rest of the world for hundreds of years. In fact, it became so valuable that it was known as white gold, and
Gold.
spies were sent to China to discover what they did to the clay to produce such high-quality merchandise.
Okay.
It wasn't until the 18th century that the secret began to unravel. A German alchemist called Johann Friedrich
Vodka.
was asked by the king to make gold out of lead. Unfortunately, Böttger failed to achieve this and soon gave up. But in order to please the king, he attempted to make high-quality porcelain. And after many years of experimentation, he discovered that by adding quartz and a material called China stone
China
to
stone.
very high-quality clay, he managed to get the same results that the Chinese have been achieving for the last 1,000 years.
Okay.
We'll now look at another ceramic which is made from mixing sand with minerals and heating to over 600 degrees Celsius. When this mixture cools, the result is, of course, glass. The main difference between ceramics made from clay and glass is that clay is made up of crystalline plates which become locked together in the cooling process.
Okay. Rate of
Whereas
cooling
glass
process.
cools too quickly for crystals to form.
Cooling.
Apart from that, the process of heating up naturally occurring materials to transform them is the same. The origins of glass date back to 3,500 BC, but it wasn't until the Roman Empire, 2,000 years ago, that the art of glass blowing and the practical uses of glass became more widespread. One of the more innovative uses was to use it in windows, as up until then, they had just been holes in walls.
Okay.
It must have been very drafty in those days.
Okay.
The Romans were also responsible for inventing concrete. And although the origins are uncertain, experts think that this is largely due to the high level of volcanic activity in the area. The Romans observed that when volcanic ash mixes with water and then cools, it gets extremely hard and almost impossible to break up. The chemical reaction that follows is very complex and continues for many years, and the concrete just keeps getting harder.
Okay.
Evidence of this are the numerous Roman remains that are still standing, many of which are almost completely intact. One of the most important facts about concrete for the Romans was that it can be created underwater. As the Roman Empire grew, the Romans needed to take control of the seas, and for this, they needed to build harbors capable of holding a fleet of ships. Pouring concrete mixture into the sea immediately started the hardening process. And rather than just dissolving in the mass of water, the substance was tough and long-lasting. This strange characteristic of concrete made a significant contribution to the success of the Roman Empire.
Okay, this is the end of the listening test. Now, I guess you have written your answers, okay, along with me. Now, it's time to check our answers from 1 to 40. And for this, I'm going to look at the answer key here. And if our score is over 35, and it would be really a great score, because getting a band 8 in listening is also challenging for the students. Okay, for this you have to practice a lot. You need to master the strategy and so on. I'm just searching here. Okay, what I'm doing is to take the photo, then write or check the answers one by one. Okay. Here, okay, the answer. Okay, you could also check yourself. We have cafe, and we have 9 a.m. We have 5 km or kilometer. It is fine. A barcode is here, bar or code. It can be written separately. Okay, let's look. Now I'm going to check the photo. I guess we got the answers. We got most of the answers right here. What I'm going is to take the photo of section 1 and 2, then 3 and section 4. Okay, now let's go back to the answers that we have written. I have just taken the photo, okay, of this, and now I'm going to check my answers whether I got 35 or not in this listening test. Okay, let's look. It is somewhere else. Okay, here. Now we have the first answer, cafe. Okay, we have written cafe. The answer is correct, cafe. Okay, we have 9 a.m. correct. Okay, we have 5 km correct. Then barcode can be written at once or separate is fine. Website is fine. Then 1.50 fine. Then MAUGSAN fine. Then 0144473290 correct. And guiding or guide both correct, guiding the tours, then taking photographs or take photographs. Okay, we have got 10 in the part 1. In part 2, let's look at the answer is shark, correct. Then we have old fishing village, correct. And we have shopping, correct. We have water fountain, correct. Okay, we have got 14 questions right. Then we have got another answer is student card. Yes, we have student card here. Then we have 50 minutes, the answer is correct. And we have museum, correct. And we have tourist office, correct. We have rain oya, yes, it can be written rain oya, okay. It's singular rain oya, it can be written rain and oya at once also. Then we have e-ticket. Okay, we got 10, 20 out of 20. Now let's go in part 3 or section 3 and check the answers. The answer for question number 21 is C, because it became outdated, it used to work. C correct. Then we have A correct. Question number 23 is B. Okay, this has gone wrong. Okay, question number 23 has gone wrong. Okay, there is one mistake is now. Then question number 24 is A, and 25 is C, and 26 is B. Okay, we have got one answer wrong. No more than 2 words there. Then we have the answer senior management or managers, both accepted. Project request correct, meeting correct, conference calls correct. And here we have 29,000 years correct. We have Southern Europe or South Europe correct. We have water correct, minerals correct, white gold correct. Then it is China Eastern correct, and it's cooling. Okay. Then we have cooling, yes, it's correct. And then we have windows correct. We have volcanic is correct and harbors correct. Then we got 29, sorry, 39 out of 40. So the score in this test is really incredible. It's a band 9 for academic. However, it's band 8.5 for the general test takers. In general training, you need to get 40 out of 40. So from academic point of view, the score is really amazing. It's really amazing, but we got a mistake here, or I got a mistake here in question number 23. I would request you to revise it or analyze it yourself. Just please pause it and check your answer. Okay, how I missed this answer. Okay, I hope this lesson has been really fruitful to you. And if you like this video, or if you find this video useful, please subscribe to my channel, like and share it. Even I would request you to share this video among your friends, those who are also preparing like you. Okay, I'll be back with another video in the days ahead. Have a good time and best of luck. Bye bye and goodbye to the people across the globe.